Hey there, VCHHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're looking at the VCAA 2025 HHD sample exam, question number 4, suggested sample answers. This is relevant to Unit 3 and 4 HHD for the 2025 plus HHD study design. Just a reminder before we dive into this video, there's lots of ways you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. If you're on our YouTube channel at the moment, you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there. That means you'll get alerts to all of our new videos as they come out across the year, especially between now and the end of your exam. We've also got our website, the hrh.net.au, where there's lots of opportunities for HHD students and teachers, so please check that out. We've got our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook pages where you can follow us and get alerts to our new videos and other opportunities, and also our email, info@thehrh.net.au, if you'd like to get in touch. Before we dive into question number 4 of the sample exam, just a reminder for Unit 3 and 4 students particularly, if you're after some great course notes and practice questions for all of the different areas of study across Unit 3 and 4, we've recently made some available via our website. So if you head to our website, you'll see there is a student drop down, and there is a link to this page here where you can fill in this form and we can make those available to you. So that's just an opportunity if you're looking for some great course notes to make sure you're across all of the key concepts in the lead up to the exam, as well as some practice questions, some easy, medium, and hard practice questions for all the different areas of study, as well as sample answers to help with your exam preparation. Okay, so we're looking at question 4 for the sample exam this year. So you can see question 4 here was worth 8 marks, and it started with this case study or this example of a project here. So the 50 words project. So you can see the project aimed to provide 50 words in every Indigenous language of Australia. And it goes on to explain a little bit about the project. And so then you'll see for 4 marks in A, you are asked to evaluate the capacity of the 50 words project to promote social justice for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. So keep in mind that social justice is, a new sort of focus for the revised study design this year in 2025, and there are 4 key principles, that are related to social justice. And so when you've got a question like this in the exam, I'd be thinking that for 4 marks, linking into a couple of those principles of social justice is a good idea for being able to demonstrate how a program is likely to, link to social justice or promote social justice. And so remember, when you see that evaluate task word in a question, you're kind of being asked to make a judgment. So evaluate whether it's likely to promote social justice. So you'll see here in the suggested sample answer, I've linked into access and participation as a sample, which are 2 of those principles of social justice. So I've said here the project promotes access as it's providing these words online so everyone, including schools and educational organisations, can access the words and appreciate the diversity of First Nations languages around Australia. And that could help to reduce discrimination against First Nations people if others have a greater understanding of Indigenous culture. And that's an aspect of social justice, reducing discrimination. It also promotes participation as it helps to ensure First Nations people across Australia can have their voices represented through the online audio provided by the language speaker. And if more people understand the diversity of First Nation languages, that might lead to increased participation by Indigenous people in community events, as they might feel more understood through this project. So you can see there are a couple of links into different principles of social justice to demonstrate how that program is likely to promote that for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So you can see there with the considerations, that's just mentioning, linking into those aspects of social justice, and then the suggested mark allocation, so demonstrating understanding of a principle of social justice and linking that to stimulus material, and doing that 2 times for 4 marks. Okay, just a reminder before we look at the second part of this question, there's still a couple of exam revision lectures coming up that I'm presenting for ACE on the 5th of October and the 15th of October. If you're after some great revision, for the exam this year, I'll be going through section A and B exam advice and strategies and covering the key concepts across Unit 3 and 4. You get a great set of notes in the post. You can head to book.acevc.com to sign up to one of these sessions, and you can also combine that with the revisions questions book, which you can see there that I've worked on with ACE this year. It's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions and sample answers if you're looking for some extra practice questions. It's also got a full trial exam as well with sample answers for all of that if you're after some extra practice exams in the lead up to the exam this year. Okay, so then this was B, and it was also worth 4 marks. And then it mentioned here that community participation in the 50 words project promotes health and well-being. And you had to explain how participating in the project could act as a resource individually and nationally. So this is obviously relevant to Unit 3, Area Study 1. So you can see here, okay, once again, I'd be thinking about this as being broken down essentially into two 2-mark, okay, responses, 2 marks for individually and 2 marks for nationally. And it's asking how, okay, it could act as a resource. So remember that's linked back to optimal health and well-being as a resource in Unit 3, Area Study 1. So you can see here I've provided a couple of suggested sample answers. There's lots of ways you could probably link into individually and nationally as part of this response here. But I've said that participating in the program and learning 50 words may help an individual to develop their communication skills, and that developing these communication skills could then help the individual to converse and develop relationships with others in their everyday life, and that can promote their individual social health and well-being. So essentially participating in the program and developing those communication skills is then acting as a resource to help develop their social health and well-being. So then nationally, First Nations people around Australia who participate in the program learn 50 words in their local language, but have an increased sense of pride and confidence in their culture, and that could contribute to improved levels of mental health and well-being nationally, which may reduce the use of national mental health and well-being services, which could free up places for other Australians who might need them. So once again, demonstrating how participation in the program, okay, on that broader level could help to improve, okay, optimal health and well-being for people across Australia, and then how that could act as a resource across Australia. So make sure that you're practicing, not just learning examples, I guess, for individually, nationally, and globally, but thinking about how you could then apply them to different types of examples like this one here. So you can see the consideration. I'm mentioning that links into that optimal health and well-being as a resource aspect of the course, and then the suggested mark allocation. So an example from the program that could be linked to optimal health and well-being, and then how that acts as a resource individually, and then the same but on to nationally. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, hopefully you found this video useful. Just a reminder, if you're after that revision book, you can head to book.acvc.com, or if you head to our website, those A+ course notes as well as those practice questions are also available. Thanks so much.